You see piles and piles of people's belongings drenched and sitting on the side of the road. The car stopped just 3 feet away from her. A 55-year-old man was shot several times this morning, but John described the man that punched him as an 18-year-old with dreadlocks. This was just the beginning of a great love story, 71 years in the making. They say they responded to 9 weather-related accidents during last night's storm. He was playing Pokemon Go when he stepped out onto the street without looking. They say when he was walking to his car, that's when he was shot. Now, crews are still actively searching for that ATV underneath of the lake. Neighbors tell me the people who live here have not been back since the fire started this morning. People's things picked up and thrown around like they meant nothing. Piles of soaked items litter the sidewalk.
I don't know if it's really hit me or not. A lot of the stuff I was going to get rid of, but I don't want to get rid of it that way.
Floodwaters taking over Judy Kirchhoff's home and destroying all of this.
There's probably some things I probably would have taken out, but I'm not going to do that. It's not worth it.
Nearby, children shoveling soaked items into bags to be thrown away.
It's tough. It's tough having to clean up everything and throw away stuff that, you didn't think you was going to have to throw away.
You may remember this road was completely covered by water. A familiar sight across much of Sumner this weekend.
As the night progressed and it still was raining, it just kept coming up, and then when the creek went over the road, that was it for us.
Jeff Gruber's cars and basement drenched.
Where the first block is on my house, the water comes straight down our driveway, into our garage, and into our basement.
The town of Sumner trying to stay positive after the devastation and 40 hours without power.
And I think that was the happiest thought, electricity.
And the floods also destroying some people's air conditioners and furnaces, something I'm told most people replaced earlier this month after some flash flooding. Live in Sumner, Taylor Bailey, News 7, KWWL. A young woman's hair matted and tangled after months of not brushing or washing it. The girl told her hairdresser she had been depressed and hadn't left her bed.
Since the beginning of the 2017 summer, that she's just been laying in bed all the time, and she'd only get up to go to the bathroom. And she didn't realize it was getting as bad as it was because she was just putting it up in a ponytail, clipping it in, and she was like, I got to the point where I just didn't care anymore.
Kaylee says when the 16-year-old girl walked into Capri Waterloo Monday, she said,
just cut it, just cut it. She's like, I feel worthless. This is even worthless to try to get through. She's like, I'm just in so much pain. And I told her, I was like, well, we're going to try to save as much hair as possible for you.
Kaylee Olson and Mariah Winger worked for 2 days to save this girl's hair.
After being here the 5 hours, we got the last knot out of her hair, and I just looked at her and I was like, guess what? It's out. And she just bawled. We all bawled, but it was nothing but just like happy tears, and I'm just so glad we could do that for her.
The stylists say the young woman came into the salon sad and feeling worthless, but after a few tools, support, and love, her hair and her spirit were transformed.
She told me that she'll actually smile for her school pictures today, and that I made her feel like herself again. So it was eye-opening, and I'm so glad that we could do that for her.
I'm told the salon is giving the young woman a gift card to come back every month to get her hair done, something Capri Waterloo is hoping will continue to make her feel beautiful and worth it.
Neighbors say the home is connected to these 2 men, Roger Bentley and James Bentley. 12 years ago, Roger was living in the home, and he's serving time in prison for kidnapping and killing a 10-year-old girl. His brother, James, is serving time for taking pornographic photos of her. Their father, Howard Bentley, owns the home and was renting it to tenants. KWWL's Taylor Bailey meets with Howard today and reports the latest.
The man who owns this home tells me he's been renting it out for some time, and he says he's actually happy to see it go.
She was smoking in bed, and they thought they had the fire out and left, and this happened.
Firefighters saying that cigarette likely caused this home to catch fire.
The flames were shooting up out of the roof already. A lot of smoke, a lot of smoke.
Howard Bentley tells me he bought the home more than 30 years ago, but he still owns it. Carrie Bance grew up next to the Bentleys. She and many others are happy to see this home torn down.
The truth is, we're not sorry to see it gone. I'm glad nobody's gotten hurt, but it's kind of been an eyesore for a very, very long time, and it is what it is. Nobody got hurt.
And Howard tells me it's been about 8 years since he lived here, and when they took out the bulldozers this afternoon, he wasn't even fazed by what was about to happen to his home. What are you thinking right now before they're about to bulldoze your house? Bulldozers ripping apart the home that Howard raised his family in. This is where Roger Bentley, Howard's son, lived when he was arrested for murder. One reason Howard and neighbors are happy to see this home burn and be torn down. And neighbors tell me the people who live here have not been back since the fire started this morning.